All right, it's time to demo VPC peering. Now again, before we do that, let's go ahead and set the stage with a diagram so that we know what we're configuring. For starters, we're going to need to do a few different things here in order to demonstrate how this is going to work. Now keep in mind, we're going to do VPC peering within the same region. When you're doing VPC peering across regions, you're going to have to configure traditional VPN connections. So you want to make sure you're in the right region as you're following along with this exercise. You're going to have to create a new VPC. Now what I'm going to do to demonstrate this is I'm going to have a VPC in a completely separate account. So I'm showing you VPC peering kind of at its best. You can always implement this within the same account if you want to, but I'm doing it across two totally separate accounts. Now the VPC that we already have has the 192.168.0.0.16, and this is the WBC VPC. Now in the other account, I've got a 172.31.0.0.16, and it is called WBC-2. Now within each of these VPCs, we've got an availability zone, and within the availability zone, in the traditional one that we've been using, the WBC, there's two subnets. You've got the private subnet and you've got the public subnet. We're not going to talk about that third subnet at this point for the purposes of our demonstration. It doesn't really matter. And then in the new VPC, we've got one subnet, which is a private subnet, and I've shown you the subnet address that we have there as well, which is a 172.31.0.0/20. Now, when you're configuring VPC peering, you can do this in a couple of different ways, and you can control access via your route table. So you can either you can control the access so that only the instances that are in a particular subnet can communicate with instances in another subnet, or you can do it so that all of the instances in the VPC can communicate with other instances in the VPC that you're peering with. Now again, for the purposes of this demonstration, we already have a web server and we already have a database server in our current environment, which is the WBC VPC. In the new VPC, I've created an FSO1 server in the subnet here so that we can test communication between the two and verify that it actually works. Let's go ahead and jump into the management console and I can show you how this is configured. Okay, now in order to do this, because again, I'm connecting to two separate accounts, I'm going to have to use two different browsers. I'm going to use Chrome, which is what you're seeing now. This is what we've been using. This is the WBC VPC. And then we're going to switch between Chrome and Edge, Microsoft Edge, for the other account and the other VPC. So for starters, we're going to start with the WBC VPC. And what I'm going to do here is from the main management console, I'm going to go ahead and click on VPC. And then you can either click on peering connections down here on the left, or from the dashboard, you can also click on VPC peering connections. What we want to do here is we want to create a VPC peering connection. Now, what you would want to do here is give it a tag. So for my purposes, I'm just going to keep this simple, and I'm going to call this my VPC peering, or my VPC peering. Now we also have to choose the local VPC. So if you had multiple VPCs, you would have to select the right one. Because we only have one, I'm going to start typing and it should pop up, and there it is. Now what we need to do is tell VPC peering how it's going to connect to the other VPC. Now if the other VPC was in the same account, you would just select this option. Because mine is in another account, I'm going to go ahead and select another account. And you're going to need two pieces of information. You're going to need the account ID and you're going to need the VPC ID. So let's switch to the Edge browser where the other account is, and I can show you where you can get all this information. Okay, so for starters, you want the account ID. Now I'm not going to show you my account ID, but I'm going to tell you where you can get it. If you see up here, you have the username. You'll probably have that as well. If you click on it, you're going to come down here to where it says My Account. And at the very top of the My Account page, you're going to see your account ID. You're going to want to copy that, and we're going to want to paste that into the other screen here so that we can populate that. And then the other piece of information that we need is the VPC ID. Now to do that, what I'm going to do is go ahead and click on VPC. And we're going to go into that VPC. You can see it's called WBC-2, and you can see the VPC ID right here. So you can go ahead and again copy the VPC ID. You can also get that from down here if it's giving you a hard time to copy it. And we're going to go ahead and paste it in the other screen. Now, once you've got this information, what you want to do is go ahead and click on Create VPC Peering Connection. And then we're going to go ahead and click on OK. So right now there is a pending request from my WBC environment to the WBC-2 environment for a peering connection. So let's go ahead and switch over to the other account and accept this peering connection. What we're going to do here is the same thing. We're going to drag down to peering connections on the left. And you'll see that I have a VPC or a VPC connection in a deleted state. This is something that I was practicing this example with, so I've deleted it. It takes some time for it to clean out. But what you'll find down here is you have a pending access or a pending access request. So if you expand this, you'll be able to see this clearly. Now what I want to do in order to accept it, you can select it. We're going to right click on it and you can accept the request, you can reject the request, delete the VPC connection peering, and so on and so forth. For the purposes of our example, I'm going to go ahead and accept that request. We're going to confirm it. And voila. We now have an active connection between two VPCs that are in separate accounts. Now, this is the initial plumbing, right? This is still not going to give instances access to one another until we basically tell these instances how they're going to reach one another. And to do that, we're going to do that using route tables. So let's go ahead and configure, first of all, the route table from the WBC-2 account. So to do that, what I'm going to do is click on route tables on the left. And we're going to go ahead and select the default route table that is currently there. We're going to select routes. And then we're going to go ahead and click on edit. And we're going to add a route. Now, the first thing that we want to do is inside target. I'm going to go ahead and select. And you'll find that the VPC peering connections always start with PCX. So I found that. I'm going to go ahead and select it. And now you want to basically, what's the destination? What are you trying to reach? So for the purposes of our example, let's go ahead and reach everything in our VPC. So we want to connect to 192.168.0.0/16. Now once you're ready, we're going to go ahead and click on Save. And voila. So this portion, this side is now configured. Let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Again, we're going to go up here to Route Tables. And we can certainly do this on the default route table as well, or we can do it on the NAT route table that we have. Let's go ahead and do it on the NAT route table, considering we already have this configured. We're going to go ahead and click on Edit. We're going to add a route table, and again, we're going to do the same thing. If you click inside of it, you're going to find the PCX connection. And then we want to direct it to the 172.31.0.0/16. When you're ready, we're going to go ahead and click on Save. Great. Now, once we have both sides configured, now let's go ahead and try to test our configuration. To do that, I'm going to log into our DB01 server and see if we can connect to FS01 from there. All right, so from DB01, the easiest way to test the connection, you can certainly try pinging, but if you're going to go into pinging, you're going to have to go through and open the firewall, the Windows firewall to allow ping. You're going to have to configure the security groups, etc. We're just trying to test connectivity. So the easiest thing to do is we're going to go ahead and click on Start, and we're going to bring up an RDP client. And from that RDP client, I'm going to connect to the FS01 server. You can see clearly that it is in the 172.31.0.0 subnet. So we're going to connect to that particular server. We're going to go ahead and click on Connect. And we're going to enter the password. And is that a thing of beauty or what? So we are now connected to FS01. And this is how you can create a VPC peering connection between two VPCs in the same account. You can see how this is helpful. Again, if you're in an acquisition mode, if you are a consultant, maybe a system integrator, there's a whole slew of reasons why you would use VPC peering. Maybe within your architecture, your design would call for multiple VPCs in your accounts, one account or multiple accounts, and you're creating a shared VPC. There's multiple ways of skinning this cat, but this is how easy it is to set up and configure VPC peering.